It's official, Major League Baseball will no longer be on ESPN. Despite a 35-year relationship spanning several generations of baseball fans, MLB and ESPN agreed to end their national TV deal yesterday. ESPN will still finish out its contract this upcoming season, but by opting out of the agreement 9 days before the March 1st deadline, the final 3 years of a contract that would have run through 2028 will be voided. While it's truly the end of an era, this news isn't necessarily surprising. Things have been trending in this direction for a while. Baseball Tonight was shut down in 2017, and its studio is now a graveyard on ESPN's Bristol, Connecticut campus. The network also rarely ever talks about baseball on any of its popular daily talk shows. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember the last time I saw Stephen A. Smith or Mike Greenberg debate anyone about MLB on First Take and Get Up. ESPN debates LeBron versus Jordan all the time. They don't debate Shohei Ohtani versus Babe Ruth. And in terms of actual baseball games, ESPN reduced its MLB inventory from about 90 games per season to 30 games per season in 2021. As I said, the writing has been on the wall. But by exiting this agreement, ESPN will save about $1.65 billion over the next 3 years, or $550 million annually, while MLB will regain control of inventory that includes an exclusive Sunday night window, the Home Run Derby, and a wildcard playoff round. Once the news broke, ESPN released a statement saying that the deal no longer made financial sense and would look for new ways to serve baseball fans. The press release read, quote, "We are grateful for our long-standing relationship with Major League Baseball and proud of how ESPN's coverage super serves fans. In making this decision, we applied the same discipline and fiscal responsibility that has built ESPN's industry-leading live events portfolio as we continue to grow our audience across linear, digital, and social platforms. As we have been throughout the process, we remain open to exploring new ways to serve MLB fans across our platforms beyond 2025. End quote. This PR stuff is pretty standard. ESPN spent time with MLB trying to renegotiate a reduced fee, but they took the high road when it became clear that that wouldn't happen. Major League Baseball, on the other hand, did the complete opposite. In a letter to MLB owners obtained by The Athletic, Commissioner Rob Manfred absolutely eviscerated ESPN. Manfred mentioned that ESPN's distribution has dropped from over 100 million homes in 2011 to 69 million homes when they signed the TV deal in 2021, now all the way down to 53.6 million homes today. Manfred also said that MLB hasn't been happy with the, quote, minimal coverage it has received on ESPN's platforms over the last 2 years, ending the letter by saying it's not, quote, beneficial for MLB to accept a smaller deal to remain on a shrinking platform. Ouch. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a partner who wants to figure out another way to work together. If you thought ESPN didn't talk about baseball enough before this, well, you can guarantee that they will talk about it even less now. Just ask the NHL, who left ESPN in 2005 only to re-sign with the network in 2021, after ESPN spent 16 years largely acting like the sport didn't even exist on its wide range of channels and shows. This is how it works at ESPN. They know they are the most popular sports entity in the United States, and they act like it. Sure, ESPN still spends billions of dollars annually on media rights deals with the NFL, college football, and the NBA. But they know they have a powerful marketing channel, and they expect secondary sports leagues to pay for it. Many MLB fans are celebrating the divorce, and in some sense, I get it. ESPN wasn't committed to marketing baseball like MLB wanted. Sunday Night Baseball is also often filled with many more interviews than Radio Row at the Super Bowl, and it's not like the Sunday Night Baseball audience is massive either, at an average of 1.51 million viewers. MLB can easily replicate that audience, or maybe even beat it, by moving ESPN's games to a broadcast channel with more distribution. Perhaps that happens. It seems unlikely that Rob Manfred would publicly badmouth ESPN without a backup plan in place. In fact, that would be downright stupid. But it's just unclear who that backup plan might be at the moment. Given the mix of broadcast and streaming distribution, a deal with NBC and Peacock makes a lot of sense. However, ESPN's $550 million per year price tag is probably a non-starter. Comcast recently bent the knee to Adam Silver and agreed to pay the NBA $2.5 billion annually starting next year. And they weren't even willing to renew their Sunday morning MLB package for a relatively cheap $30 million per year. That price is also probably too rich for Fox, since they already pay MLB over $725 million annually. MLB also devalued its media rights when it signed discounted streaming deals with Apple at $85 million per year and Roku for $10 million per year. So it's unlikely Amazon or Netflix would pony up such a hefty fee at a significant premium to what their streaming competitors are paying. MLB has done a great job crafting the narrative so far. Everyone in the media is saying that they mutually agreed to part ways with ESPN, and many fans are even calling it a win for Manfred and baseball due to ESPN's lack of interest in covering the sport. However, the reality is that MLB didn't didn't want this to happen. ESPN gave them no other option. ESPN told MLB they wanted to pay less for their games or receive more inventory to dilute the price. That makes sense. ESPN currently pays $550 million a year for 30 regular season games, the Home Run Derby, and a wild card series, while Fox pays only $175 million more but gets the World Series, League Championship Series, League Division Series, All-Star Game, and a package of regular season games. That is either a bad deal for ESPN or a great deal for Fox. Maybe a little bit of both. But still, Major League Baseball didn't want to reduce its rights fees, so they said no, and ESPN decided to walk away. This is somewhat of a risky decision for ESPN for a couple of reasons. First, the network is about to launch its direct-to-consumer streaming service, which is seen as a vital product for the future success of their business. And number two, they'll have to backfill 26 TV slots previously occupied by Sunday Night Baseball with other content. If I had to bet, expect to see a whole lot more of women's basketball on Sunday nights next year on ESPN. Either way, it's doubtful MLB will be able to recoup $550 million with another partner unless they add more games to the inventory list. But then again, Rob Manfred might be willing to lose out on some money today for a more significant payday in the future. Why? Well, because MLB is already looking ahead to the year 2028. That's when the league's deals with Fox, ESPN, and Turner are set to expire, with MLB wanting to create national packages by adding in local rights. MLB is already handling broadcasts for a handful of teams this upcoming season, including the Brewers, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Padres, Reds, Rockies, and Twins. And roughly 2/3 of the league's 30 teams, if not more, are expected to have their local media rights available by 2028. MLB could then bundle all of those games together without local blackouts to maximize rights fees by signing a variety of packages, like the NBA's new $76 billion rights package with ESPN, NBC, and Amazon Prime Video. This is an incredibly valuable asset because while MLB doesn't have the same viewership numbers as the NFL or even the NBA, it offers potential TV partners a ton of inventory throughout the summer, historically the slowest part of the sports calendar. MLB would prefer to maximize rights by selling these packages to a mix of cable, broadcast, and streaming companies. But one name to watch out for is Apple TV. Now, I have no inside information at all that Apple is interested in acquiring a larger package of MLB games. However, what we do know is that Apple is typically more interested in acquiring leagues than renting games. Think about what they did with Major League Soccer. Outside of a handful of special situations, Apple TV is the exclusive home to all MLS content. That obviously includes all of the games, but the exclusive aspect of the deal also allows Apple to create a hub for everything MLS, including player interviews, facility tours, documentaries, and more. The initial concern with the Apple MLS deal was that it would slow MLS's growth by reducing accessibility through streaming, but that's not really a problem for MLB. Their audience is their audience, and while baseball has declined in popularity over the years, it has one of the most dedicated fan bases in all of sports. Just look at how many fan blogs there are dedicated to baseball stats nobody has even heard of. Baseball is also a regional sport with a ton of inventory. That right there is the value proposition. It's unlikely that the Dodgers would agree to be a part of this deal, as they have a 25-year local media rights deal in place worth $8.35 billion. I mean, how else would they be able to pay all of that deferred money to their superstars? MLB will also have to negotiate other challenges, like a new collective bargaining agreement with the MLB Players Association after the 2026 season. Future media money will be a crucial part of MLB's negotiating with players, and the league can't afford another lockout or strike on its record. But don't be surprised if a streaming company like Apple TV tries to scoop up all of MLB's rights in 2028. We are headed in that direction anyway, and it's much more valuable for them to own the entire schedule rather than a package of exclusive games. The clock is now ticking on 2028, but in the meantime, let's pour one out for Sunday Night Baseball.